Hello, Dominic here from the Bournemouth Writing Festival. Looking forward to welcoming you on the 26th, 27th and 28th of April 2024 to Bournemouth Town Centre for the second Bournemouth Writing Festival. Now, we have over 100 different writing events and activities happening over those 3 days. Doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner, haven't written a word yet, or maybe you used to write and want some confidence or some inspiration to get writing again, or maybe you've been writing for a while and want some extra guidance or tips and advice from writing professionals. We've got something for everybody. So for the complete beginner, we have, for example, Valerie French, who is doing a session on writing your first full-length novel. We also have a session on how to plot your novel. We also have Liam Findlay coming down from London, who is going to be helping writers with their descriptions through their sense of smell. So that's going to be a really interesting one. So lots of different talks, sessions, workshops, etc., to try to inspire you and to improve and progress your writing. Now, one of those talks that are going to be happening over the 3 days, I'm delighted to say that Louisa Flynn is joining me today. Now, she is actually kicking off the festival in the Pavilion Dance at 1:30 on Friday with her session called Unearth Your Voice. Now, Louisa is a yoga and well-being writer. She started off as a journalist, actually, for the likes of Marie Claire magazine, and she was the editor for Sanctuary magazine. And as well as having a background in wellness publishing, she's also a certified yoga teacher. So that means she's mashed up her two loves and kind of made a career of it, basically. So as a wellbeing writer, she has been published in OM magazine, Womankind magazine, and Mantra magazine. So welcome, Louisa.
Dominic, thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to being part of the festival this year. I was there last year as an attendee, and I am going to lots of different sessions, and yeah, it's just great to be a part of it. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for those nice words. So as I said in your intro there, you've combined two of your loves, really, well-being and yoga and writing. So take us through your journey.
Yes, so I did. That's exactly what I've sort of come up with. It's funny, our journeys can take us in so many unexpected directions, can't they? So yeah, after leaving university, I was working for magazines such as Marie Claire magazine, IPC Media, and I did a lot of media production. I worked with very different publications and publishing houses like Condé Nast and all sorts of things. And then I found myself in third sector publishing and well-being. It was an interest of mine, really passionate about it. And then I was editor for a well-being magazine called Sanctuary magazine, and I loved that as well. And then, yeah, life's just taken its different twists and turns, and now I'm in Bournemouth, and I train to teach yoga because I love yoga, and I just found that different practices really help with my writing. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from, but mainly just as a writer, as a fellow writer, somebody who, you know, is trying to get our words out, get my words out, and hope that they land.
And that's great, because a lot of people say when you're writing, write what you love or write about your passion, and you're doing exactly that. So your session is called Unearth Your Voice, Techniques to Help You Find Your Authentic Voice. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be covering, what you're going to be discussing.
Okay, yeah. So I think as writers, especially in this day and age, we live in a really noisy world. And not only are we perhaps trying to, you know, make our writing commercially viable, which is obviously an important aspect of writing, but it's not the most important, certainly not in my opinion. And I think we can really try and change ourselves and mold ourselves to fit whatever it is that we might be writing for. You know, if we're writing content or copy for a client, then we're changing ourselves and our skills to write those things. Equally, for different publications and different book ideas, we might be using different voices, and that's all really, really interesting and great. But what I'm really, really passionate about is that expressive voice and that authentic voice. So my session is all about kind of getting rid of all the layers for a little while, not necessarily forever, but just for a little while, just so you can connect to the inner voice and just see what comes out with that. So I'll be doing lots of grounding, some breathing practices some mindfulness, lots of writing prompts to definitely bring your writing materials, whether that's your laptop or your pen and paper, and yeah, just be prepared to kind of drop a lot of the expectations and hopefully kind of connect into your inner voice.
And I think that's so important what you said about there's so much noise, there's so much distraction going on in everyone's world, and trying to have that bit of clarity where you not only find your authentic voice, I suppose, but also which would therefore uncover your unique voice. And everybody's unique once you go down, and because everyone's different, really.
That's it. Everybody, we are all incredibly different, and we can be different on any day. And it can, yeah, finding out what I really want to say from my own experience can be quite tricky, because I might be wearing a certain hat because with a certain style I have to write in. And so when I get that chance to just write what I want to write without judging it, without censoring myself, without trying to edit what's there, I've just found it really, really powerful practice, and I'd love to share it.
Wonderful. Okay, so that leads me on to my last question. So what are you hoping that people will take away from your session? What are you hoping that people will do?
The main thing is, if you've spent, if writers have spent an hour communing with themselves, that I think is precious in itself. And perhaps there might be the starts or the beginnings of a piece of work there. I'd like to think so. Or a new way of approaching an existing project, perhaps a new way of looking at things. And also, I think mainly it's this toolkit that I hope people will leave with, these different techniques and practices, things that can be done whilst you're at your desk or in a coffee shop or absolutely anywhere, just to make sure that you're getting rid of any unnecessary layers and really listening to what it is that most wants to come out.
Well, that's brilliant. And what a session to start the whole festival off on, because everybody can remove all that noise and then focus on writing and learning. So thank you so much, Louisa, for joining me today. So Louisa's workshop or session is called Unearth Your Voice, Techniques to Help You Find Your Authentic Voice. And that is at 1:30 p.m. on Friday at Pavilion Dance. So Louisa, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you then.
Look forward to seeing you, and looking forward to seeing everybody at the Bournemouth Writing Festival at the end of April. Take care.